do you see? Oh, hey, baby. I was just about to read a story to the boys and girls. Yeah? They're right here. Look. They're right there. Right there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Go lay down. Wobble. Can you sit? Here. Baby, sit. Oh, good boy. Lay down. You can listen to the story, too. Do you want Wobble to listen to the story with us today? That sounds so fun. All right, lay down. Okay. So, we're going to read a really good story today. Our story is actually written by an astronaut. And it's going to be so much fun. It's called Goodnight Astronaut. When you go outside at night and you look up at the sky, do you see stars? Me too. I see stars and I see the moon. And then sometimes a really big bright light that looks kind of like a star is actually a planet. So the really bright ones in the sky are planets. And I think that's so cool that we can see planets with our eyes without having to have a telescope or anything. Alright, so our story is a story written by an astronaut who's actually been to space. So that's going to be super fun. Alright, so it's called Goodnight Astronaut. And it is by Scott Kelly, the astronaut. Alright. It says, I was born for adventure. A blur of motion and energy times 2. Twin trailblazers up for anything. Ooh, they're twins. But even explorers get tired. We fight sleep like an enemy. Mom says rest is our friend. If you close your eyes and dare to dream, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. Good night, my astronauts. On our family cruise, our boat rocks us to sleep, feet to feet, in our matching berths. When the waves are rough, we bounce into the air and float. Just for a second, it's like we're in zero gravity of space. Do you know everything floats in space because there's no gravity there? As brothers grow up, we chase dreams of our own. On my first solo adventure, the woods seem so big, and my tent feels so small. The hard ground cradles me as the wind lulls me to sleep. Come morning, I carry my home in a pack on my back, ready to chart my new path. Have you ever been camping? At school, on the ocean, sailors crowd the ship decks. Learning to steer, I take the helm, watching the horizon, exploring the high seas. Then I grab some sleep in a narrow bunk, stacked 3 beds tall. Sleep tight, crewmates. Have you ever slept on a bunk bed before? Have you ever slept on a bunk bed with 3 beds on it? Like he's dreaming about being in a rocket ship. Sliding silently through the sea, we patrol the depths, under the crushing weight of water, safe in a long metal tube, with no day and no night. We're secret sentries guarding against danger in our submarine below the ocean waves, using the periscope to lift our eyes above the water. Look at the submarine. When our watch is over, we eat in the mess, and then hot rack to sleep, taking turns because there are more people than beds. Look, they're sharing beds. Why one person sleeps while the other person's awake, and then they take turns in their submarine. Wow. The skies called me back up to the surface to become a floating pilot. I've always go for launch in a jet called a Tomcat on a carrier ship. In a cockpit on a flight deck, strapped in tight, I stand the alert, but waiting can be tiring. So a quick combat nap keeps me ready to fly whenever and wherever I'm needed. Look, he's sleeping in the plane. He sleeps a lot of different places, huh? Icy woods are chilling, a frozen world like the darkness of space. We learn to survive in this dangerous place and sleep in a snow house, tucked in between friends. Our wintry blanket keeps us warm inside, but not too toasty, so our shelter will melt around us. Look, they're sleeping in snow. He slept a lot of places. Aquanauts learn to be astronauts living under the sea. I sleep in a fishbowl, dreaming of sleep. The place I long to be is space. As the sea life looks in, wondering what aliens are invading their watery home. Look, he's sleeping underwater. That's so cool. As I sleep under a clear bubble in the far north, the aurora borealis paints the night sky with a rainbow of color. From the solar wind bumping into the Earth's outer reaches, the dancing lights put on a magical show. Look at the northern lights. A yurt is the perfect shelter for a high alpine perch. Mount Everest Base Camp near the highest place on Earth. There is so little oxygen, it sometimes hurts to breathe. More stars than I've ever seen seem close enough to touch. Look how high he is. He's so high up in the sky, there's a lot of stars. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, so he's staying in a tent on Mount Everest so he can be close to the stars. After all the training, hard work, and dreaming, I finally leave the Earth on a shuttle called Discovery. Look, there's Discovery. An astronaut at last. I work and sleep with our crew of 7 in a workspace the size of a double-decker minivan. I spend the Christmas among the stars in an unforgettable gift. One brother on Earth, the other above. One watches over our planet as the other watches over our families. And then we switch places. Now it's my turn to live in space for a whole year. I learned to sleep in a bag, hanging on a wall as visions of the beautiful planet fill my mind and heart. Many trips, many missions, our shared dreams have come true. Of all the places I've gone and all the places I've slept, I've come to discover that home is the best. In my own cozy bed with my family nearby, I sleep soundly, knowing my mission is done. So good night, future astronaut. Start dreaming, your adventures await. That's cool. Oh, look, here's some pictures. Oh, there's the twin brothers with snowman. Oh, they're on a boat, in the plane, in the submarine. The little boy, when he was little, he wanted to be an astronaut. And then as he was growing up, he got to sleep in a lot of amazing places. And all of those finally got to go to space. So sometimes when we dream something when we're little, it takes a really long time for that dream to come true. He had to learn how to be on a ship, on a submarine, in a plane. He had to climb mountains. He had to do a lot of stuff before he could go to space. But he did end up getting to go to space. So he finally got to sleep in space. That was such a good book. Did you enjoy that book? What is a place that was new for you to sleep in? Maybe you got to go camping. Maybe you slept in a tent. Maybe you just slept outside with no tent, looking up at the sky. Or maybe you went to a really cool place and you got to sleep where there were bears outside your window. I want to know all about it. So what I want for you to do is, if you want, you can draw me a picture of a fun place where you slept. Maybe you draw me a picture of the time you went camping, or maybe you went on a sleepover. I want to know. And if you want me to see it, let your parents know and they can get me your picture so that I can see your picture. Does that sound great? Awesome. Okay, so let me tell you about the fun place I've slept before. I once was in a hammock. I went hammock camping. So instead of camping in a tent with something over my head, I slept tied up between 2 trees, just swaying and looking up at the sky. I was really scared a bear was going to come eat me, but a bear didn't eat me. I think that my uncle was snoring too loud for any bears to come eat me, but it was a really fun time. It was my favorite camping trip so far. So let me see your pictures, and I will see you next time, okay? Goodbye!